Mazel morons, welcome back to the Good Guys podcast. I'm sitting here with the head of Joe Biden's shuffleboard team. It's Ben Saver.
We're so excited to have Joe back. Like, honestly, it's going to be great. He was an ace in the hole before. Ooh, baby, you're... I wish I got these prompts earlier. I can't do it. I can't improv. But that said, fantastic at shuffleboard. Josh, remember outside of Parkside, that shuffleboard in Queens? That beautiful
bocce ball.
Bocce ball. It's bocce ball.
Bocce ball.
I don't think I've played shuffleboard. Have you played shuffleboard?
Oh, baby, you got to treat yourself. Let me tell you, the competitive sports of people over 65 are a fucking good time.
Tell me about it.
Maybe we should make a venue that's devoted to over 65 sports. I'm talking shuffleboard. I'm talking mahjong. I'm talking...
I love mahjong. And by the way, you know who loves mahjong? Claudia. Loves mahjong. Like
the Asian game of tiles.
Oh, she loves it. She loves it. She had like a nice little crew, like a nice mahjong game. But it's a fantastic game. It's very, very, very difficult, though. Tons of rules.
Yeah, bro. I don't know any rules of anything. I don't know how to play gin or rummy or gin rummy. I don't know card games. The whole thing. It's just too hard for me to get. But like, I'm very, very good at chess.
Really? I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. Really good at chess. Like competition level good at chess?
No, because then you got to be on the spectrum. But like, it just gets so intense. Like, my rating would probably be, when I was a kid, it would probably be like, 1,400, like, which is like a very beginner to intermediate player. In the intermediate, I would say. And now I'm probably even worse as an adult.
I mean, the fact that you even know a rating. What is a rating? Like, is that like an international chess rating?
Yeah, like from what I know, if you're at a grandmaster level, it's like Bobby Fischer or Magnus Carlsen, who's the current considered the greatest chess player alive, is probably like 2,600. Let me double fact check.
I love that in back-to-back episodes, Marshall, we are learning that Josh has a deep, deep, deep appreciation for Richard Simmons, like cut so deep. And Josh not only is a professional chess player, but knows so much about chess and idolizes the masters of chess. Like, this is painting a picture for me that I just simply didn't know.
That we didn't know before.
You are so much more than what you seem. And now we need
what do I seem?
I don't know, Josh. I don't know.
You just think of me as the guy from Drake and Josh, and that's not cool.
No, I don't at all.
Well, Marshall does.
But I always say, Josh knows a little about so much. He's always able to just pull these things out. Maybe you just know a lot about a lot. Maybe that brain of yours is just soaking.
He does.
It's possible that Josh is just really, really smart. And on that, I'm going to get off my knees. I'm going to stand up.
Wipe your face.
Take a deep breath.
Speaking of wiping my face, I gotta tell you, Ben, you in these shorts these past few episodes, your man pussy is on full view, my boy.
Whoa.
It is unbelievable.
Whoa. Let's just tuck these away. I'll just stand like this. This is good. I wonder what it looks like in the actual video.
That's a bad angle for you, because I was looking at the clips of our great episode with us with Ian Finance today, and it's right there. It's bullseye. You got to consider wearing pants.
Should I just switch right now?
Mm-mm. It's too good because everyone's looking now.
Or what about like a small blanket or like a sash?
Yeah. Do you have like a kilt or It's cute, babe.
Man.
But
all right.
Overall, your body is fit as a fiddle. I like Hampton Spen.
It is what it is.
I like Hampton Spen.
It is what it is. Maybe just for... will we get demonetized on YouTube or monetized on YouTube?
I think they might just cancel the channel.
They might? All right, we can switch it over to OnlyFans. But back to chess, okay? I understand that the peak male body physique is distracting.
You do look great. You really look great.
I understand. Back to chess.
Okay.
Let's say we have, is the role of a lifetime for you. Nolan comes and he says, Josh, you are portraying the #1 chess player in the mid 1700s in England, and you are like playing chess with the king. Is that a dream?
It wouldn't be to do it in a period. Anything with Chris Nolan would be a dream, full stop. If I may be Jewish about it and a little particular, there's a draft, Chris. I'm feeling a draft. I would say I would like to do something modern. A period piece about chess is less interesting. Look, Bobby Fischer is a fascinating figure, right? Because he was Jewish, considered the greatest, basically lost his mind, went away into obscurity, then became like incredibly anti-Semitic, gave up his citizenship in America, died in Iceland alone. Like a very compelling, dramatic story. So something like that would be interesting. But do you know sort of the story? I mean, I don't know if you're up on the chess news.
I know, just to set the stage, I know absolutely nothing about chess. I know absolutely nothing about chess news. I know absolutely nothing about chess origins. All I know is the king, the queen, the pawn, the knight, and that the knight does a nice little 3 up, 1 to the right.
Well, currently, sort of without question, the greatest player alive is this guy, Magnus Carlsen, and he's fucking cool. He like did a G-Star campaign. He's got a really cool look about him. He does like modeling, and he's just absurdly good, like inarguably better than everyone else. And there's sort of this controversy in the chess world, and it is hot, hot, hot. And basically, and it's all alleged, of course, there's this guy named Hans Niemann. I know, strap in. And basically, he has been accused of cheating and like on some like Houston Astro shit, like having like electrodes in his jacket so that he can be getting signals from like his coach. And basically they were like studying his games, and I guess they felt as though he got too good too quickly. So now he's suing chess.com or the Chess Federation for like tens of millions of dollars for defamation. Magnus Carlsen went after him. It's all alleged, but it's pretty hot. It's hot in the chess world.
And where are you getting your chess news?
It's everywhere, babe.
No, it's not anywhere. So where are you getting your chess news?
You can go to chess.com.
You go to chess.com. Okay. Okay.
I
want to go to dinner. Me, you, Magnus, and Hans. Hey, is that a dream dinner for you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, listen, they're chess players who are the greatest in the world. Something tells me they're not great at schmoozing.
Josh, can you do 2 to 4 today? Sorry, I'm hanging out with Magnus and Hans. I
can't. Ben's like, we got Elon Musk for the podcast. I'm like,
too much time with Magnus and Hans.
You know, Magnus is explaining to me the Sicilian defense opening, and I'm a little tied up, babe. I'm a little tied up.
Oh my God. All right. So we need to get you back in competitive form. Like, I want to back you. I'm going to contribute. We're going to sponsor you. The good guys are going to sponsor Josh's rise in the chess ranks. Is it like tennis? Like where they have like a rankings board, right?
Yeah.
Wow. We got to get you in, but you need to be competitive.
Well, and then you could be like an international champion. Like there's levels, right? Like you can be a master and then an international, and then it's grandmaster, which is very rarefied air.
Do they have, is it an Olympic sport, chess?
They were talking about it. I don't think it is, but breakdancing is this year. But they've been talking about it. They've also done studies to say that in an intense chess game, you burn like more calories than if you were like on the rowing machine for an hour, just by using the old brain box.
I don't believe that. That's not possible. You're burning more calories playing chess than you are rowing. Josh,
I don't know.
Josh, you're being brainwashed by big chess. Whatever you're reading is the far right of big chess. It's no good.
I can't believe you don't know about Grandmaster Maurice Ashley, who's the pride of Brooklyn. You're crazy.
Oh my God.
Dude, growing up, remember, I'm an only child too, right? With a single mom who was like in her 60s being like, Josh, get yourself busy. I'm making wings. And so I would go, because I grew up on 44th and 10th Avenue. on 43rd, I believe, between 8th and 9th, there was the MCC, the Manhattan Chess Club. And I would stroll in there, 12 years old, a bag of Doritos in my hand and hope in my heart. And I would start playing these real weirdos. It was great.
Did you ever play outside? Like, remember where we did our photo shoot at our first Good Guys photo shoot at that basketball court with those
on Houston?
Yeah, with those like very, very sketchy chessboards that like smelled like piss and like there was like loose crack on the floor.
So the famous one is Washington Square Park, where all the speed chess guys play, and they hustle and they play for money. That's a different game to play speed chess, to be able to play that quickly. But those guys are also incredible. Like I'm not, they would make quick work of me.
Wow.
Yeah, babe. Listen, my wife's lucky.
I just love being able to learn new things about you. I feel like you never learn new things about me. I feel like I've told you everything. There's nothing new to tell.
I want to know more. You know what I want to know is because I saw this article and then I was thinking about you because I know historically you went to schools with, let's just say it, not a big student body. I think there was 9 kids in your middle school?
Correct. 8.
I was not expecting you to go lower.
No, 8.
I thought you would have been 40.
8 kids. And have we spoken about, there was one girl, she was 6'3", she was our center. Have we...
Wow.
This episode of the Good Guys podcast is brought to you by Philadelphia cream cheese. If there's anyone that knows creamy, it's me. No, I'm kidding. It's Philadelphia cream cheese. It's extremely versatile and can be used to enhance any meal, snack, or anything in between. Philadelphia makes everything creamier. And I mean everything creamier. A dip? Delicious. You want a great substitute for creme fraiche with caviar? Yeah, you can use cream cheese. Level yourself up, folks. You want creamier macaroni and cheese? Throw in some cream cheese. Cream cheese is it. The ultimate thickener. It's absolutely fantastic. Highly recommend it. So much more than bagels with cream cheese. How basic are you? Think about Philadelphia cream cheese as a thickener to make everything more delicious and creamy. Philadelphia makes everything creamier. So visit creamcheese.com. I will never get over that URL. I'm sorry. Creamcheese.com. How cool are they? I just went to creamcheese.com and folks, the inspo is there. The inspo for your next meal is there. Desserts, we didn't even talk about desserts. How about a 3-step cheesecake? How about chocolate cookie, no bake cheesecakes? What about a chocolate pomegranate cheesecake mini or a New York style sour cream top cheesecake? The recipe inspo is endless. Philadelphia cream cheese belongs in your desserts. And why not use the king of cream cheese? Philadelphia, huh? They also have whipped cream cheese. How delicious and airy is whipped cream cheese? So delicious. Get their whipped products. Get all of their products. Philadelphia cream cheese, the undisputed king of cream cheese. Everything is creamier with Philadelphia. Visit creamcheese.com for recipe inspiration and so you can start adding Philadelphia to your recipes at home. That's visit creamcheese.com.
Well, because I saw this article and then I wanted to ask you, which is... Okay, we're having some technical difficulties here.
You guys should play We're Not Really Strangers for an episode.
What's that?
It's like a card game for, I don't know, new friends or like old friends, first dates. And it's like these deeper questions that you ask each other. I think it'd be kind of fun.
Wow. Who makes the game?
I can find out. I don't know.
All right, just making sure that we like them. You never know.
Well, it basically just, the story was in the New York Post because it's not coming up, but it was, my son went to prom in a body bag. And it was basically this kid's entrance to the prom was like, I guess they took him out of a hearse, opened up the body bag, and he got out. Did you go to prom?
Yeah. So my high school was a little bit bigger. It was like 60 kids. I went to junior prom and I went to senior prom.
That's so small, dude.
In the Jewish, in the private Jewish landscape, it's average, I'd say. The biggest school by far, the biggest one is the school in New Jersey called Frisch. They have 330 kids. And to me, that sounds insane. Insane. Like, I see
How big is Ramaz?
About 100.
That's it, huh?
Yeah, these aren't very big classes. But it's nice because you get to know everybody. That said, on the flip side, if you don't like anybody, it's really miserable. Really miserable.
And you
But-
can't really disappear, right? Like are you constantly getting kind of lit up by teachers and so there's nowhere to hide.
Oh, there's nowhere to hide. No, these are very, very, very small classes. Very. The idea of hooky, no. Can't play hooky from God, Josh. Can't play hooky from God. He knows. He knows.
And what are the classes, like what are the specific classes to a Jewish school? Like weather control or like...
Yes.
You know, how to control Hollywood.
Yes. How to hide your nose. 101. Contouring.
Did you have
God.
Did you have friends who as teenagers got nose jobs?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Me too.
Yeah, one day they were ugly, the next day they weren't ugly. You're like, whoa. All you needed was a new nose. It's real. The nose is a real thing. I was blessed with a nose. You never touched your nose, right? You have a great nose.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, no.
No, I got lucky. I just have male breasts and depression.
Yeah, that's classic though. That's classic. Everybody has that. But yeah, the nose job, it's real. It's funny. Like you just change your nose. You look fantastic. That said, I've also seen some very, very bad nose jobs. Sometimes they go from really wide to really thin and there's no nose left. No nose left.
You need like a Dr. Nassif. You need a real expert.
Absolutely. No turkey for the nose job. Got to do it domestically. Got to do your research.
So
Got to
true.
go where your friends went. Don't cheap out.
But there's like, what do you guys, and please Marshall weigh in on this. Like I am of the mind that a nose, like I don't want to go to a guy who does 20 things, one of which is a nose job. If I'm
Agreed.
getting a nose job.
Yes.
But like if there's a guy who does lipo, 360 lipo, tummy tuck, like if there's a body guy, then I'm okay if they do like 15 different things. And if there's like a face guy who does like facelifts and eyes and neck and that, I'm like, okay, but I just feel like a nose job, like that's gotta be your thing.
100%. I actually had I only realized how weird it was recently. I went to a new eye doctor, if you'll remember, 9-ish months ago, right? To get my prescription checked. This woman, though, was an MD. She wasn't only an optometrist. Like part of what she did was eyes, but she also did other things. And I'm thinking about it. My contacts don't fit perfectly. My vision could be better. I'm just saying, I feel like maybe I went to somebody that didn't specialize in the eyes, Josh. She did them the same exact way that you're saying. If you don't specialize in the nose, I want nothing to do with it. And I didn't even know that existed.
What's your feeling, Marshall? Or do you not think about plastic surgery because you're such a freaking smoke show?
No, I don't think about it. But however, I do agree we need to compartmentalize. Yeah, there needs to be a skin person. There needs to be a body. There needs to be an ass guy.
Yeah,
or girl person. We need to just segment here.
Well, that's funny you say that because speaking of butts, the BBL surgery is by far the riskiest surgery there is here, let's look. BBL surgery risk.
What is BBL?
Brazilian butt lift.
Wow, excuse me. So that's when they take a low lump and make it a big rump.
Yeah.
I would venture to say probably more popular in California.
Juicy and high, though. That's what we're looking for.
Juicy and high. Yeah.
But probably Miami, right?
Oh, in Miami. Yeah, I could definitely see in Miami. Yep.
So, one thing to know about softer men, we have incredibly flat asses. Incredibly. Like my dad's ass is like a washboard.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like even at like his highest weight, he never went above like a 38 gene. Just small waist, small ass. He's going to be thrilled.
He's going to love this segment.
This episode of the Good Guys podcast is brought to you by the McDonald's Quarter Pounder with Cheese. Ooh, baby, let's talk about something delicious, something hot and juicy, something cooked when you order, something fit for a good guy. It's the Quarter Pounder with Cheese. It's a burger so iconic that it's simply known as the QPC. Each QPC
features a burger that's sizzled on a flat iron grill and then topped with slivered onions, crispy pickles, and 2 slices of melty cheese on a sesame seed bun. I'm salivating just talking about this. I am not doing well, my friends. Let's distract ourselves by talking about our ideal moment to savor and enjoy a QPC, which after recording this ad may be the minute we're done recording this episode. Look, I'm about to hop in my car, drive to the nearest McDonald's and pick up a QPC, eat it in my car because there's nothing quite like a car QPC. The only thing that beats a car QPC is perhaps a McDelivery QPC. Hey, I'm watching TV. I don't want to get up. I want it at my door. McDelivery QPC. Doesn't that sound absolutely delicious? The QPC is a burger that napkins were made for. And as someone who enjoys sauces galore, I feel extremely seen. You know I love the sauce. Ooh, baby, sauces are delicious. The QPC, baby, it's where it's at. It's the burger worthy of a nickname. Order the QPC today. Weight before cooking, 4 ounces. Fresh beef available at most restaurants in the contiguous U.S. Not available in Alaska, Hawaii, and U.S. territories.
Yeah, I think the BBL surgery in general, like, I'm not sure how much it's done truly because, one, you can't sit for a while after, and there's such a risk because you have such major arteries in that part of your body that if one of those arteries gets blocked, it's curtains, my boy. It's over for you.
Doesn't seem worth it at all. On something that's so rarely seen. Who's looking at the bare ass of a man? It's rare. It's rare. I'm saying there are definitely things that you're getting before that, right? A million things before the butt.
I had a buddy whose girlfriend definitely had it. And yet, you guys tell me, they broke up, and that was when I said, hey, she had her butt done, right? And he was like, oh, yeah. And I was like, okay, gotcha. Like, I only felt comfortable broaching it after they were broken up because, like, while it was his girl, I felt inappropriate. What do you guys think? Like, I felt compelled to bring it up. Are you
in this
allowed
day
to
and
bring it up?
age, I think you need to be announcing it if you had it done. I would want everyone to know.
She didn't announce it. I mean, I met her with it. It's not like she got, like, one day she came in and we were like, what have you been eating, dear?
You met her with it. That's different. So there was
That's
no
right.
drastic change. You just saw her and you're like, ooh, baby, those some big booty. And you just assumed.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly looked artificial, like, for her body.
Yeah, then I don't think you can ask.
You can't ask, huh?
No, you approached it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Break
Yeah.
up, spill the tea now.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you this. Shout out to my friend who I won't name, but you know who you are. My good buddy.
Len.
No. His wife got sort of a mommy makeover. His wife got a mommy makeover. She looks incredible. But I do remember this distinctly because he was waiting for her when she was sort of, at the surgeon's office, because obviously it can take hours. And so he was the kind of surgeon who would upload, he would obviously not show anyone's face, but during surgeries would upload stories to the plastic surgery account saying like, this is who I have today and we're doing a bit of a mommy makeover, blah, 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 blah. And Len, my boy, I mean, I don't know who. Shit, I'm gonna have to cut this. Anyway, my friend Rick
We gotta bleep that. We'll bleep it.
was like, yo, like check, like I like see if they're almost done with the surgery, because you kind of like, they would upload things in like kind of real time ish. And so I go on the plastic surgeon's Instagram story and I'm like, "Goo!" I'm like, I'll never be able to look at her the same way again. Like, I saw a lot. And she looked incredible, but I was like, that's my friend's wife.
At what point do you, like, when are you approached by the plastic surgeon asking if they can share your work on his social? Is that like a consent before? And what benefit is there to saying yes?
Is there a discount, perhaps?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't get it. That's That's a lot.
They don't show the face though, right?
That's right. And
So-
yeah.
So you just knew. You just knew what
That's
you were
right.
looking at.
yeah.
I've seen that ass 1,000 times.
Well, I knew. I'm like, unless he's doing 2 surgeries at once. I knew it was her. But let's remember, we're 3 coastal elites here. Like, I think people are much more accepting of being on people's social media than we think. Like
You do?
anonymous people.
But
Yeah.
Maybe.
And
I
they're
guess
kept
that's true.
anonymous.
Like
Yeah,
no
yeah,
one,
yeah.
like the Daily Mail isn't going to put a story out about random person and wherever.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean,
guess.
she looked incredible. Like, I think people are kind of like, hey, I look great. I'm getting a little, mommy makeover. Why not?
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Crazy, right? Wow. I'm gonna have to run this little portion by good old Len. So clearly we don't talk about politics here, but I think we'd be remiss to not at least have a little kick around sesh, no?
We got to say a little something. We've been skirting around it for 24 minutes. Just a little something. Just a small taste. Biden dropped out. He's gone.
And Richard Simmons had a final Instagram post that his team put out. Oh, sorry. I thought sorry. I misunderstood.
You know who I think should run for president, Josh?
Who?
You know who I think should run for president? Hans is the one. And Magnus is the 2.
Hans Niemann and Magnus Carlsen? Wow.
1, 2. But yes, Biden dropped out. He's gone. One thing that I would love your opinion on, I don't think this is very political. The man drops out because he says that he's not fit anymore to run for president. Yet he's going to be president for the next 7 months, 8 months, 9 months. Isn't that a little strange?
Till January 20th.
Yeah, isn't that a little strange? Like, I'm not fit to run for president, so I'm going to continue to be your president for the next year. I thought that was a little odd. I couldn't really get past that. Like,
You're not the only one.
Why wouldn't Harris, why wouldn't Kamala just be president now?
You're not the only one. A lot of people have brought that up. I think the sort of the thought is, I'm quoting Bill Maher here when I say this, but Bill would say Biden can be president. He just can't run for president. Because it's 2 very, very different things, right? Because running for president means you're going and campaigning all over the country. You're constantly moving 5, 6 events a day. I mean, it is truly
Exhausting.
Exhausting, a physical toll on even a young person. But I guess the theory is the idea of if he can just sit and be surrounded by a team and make certain decisions and choices for the next few months, that he can do an adequate job and probably is reminiscent of what he's been doing the last year, whether you agree with him or not, is sort of not a lot's going to change because he can keep it more insulated.
Mm-hmm. I guess that makes sense. That does make sense.
Not being out on the campaign trail is huge.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that's been that on politics from the good guys.
Well, my
Get out there and
politics
vote.
thought.
I encourage you to vote. Everybody vote. Quickly, before you get into your point, my biggest pet peeve in the whole fucking world is what I just did when people come on that, it's mainly influencers that do it. When they're go out and vote, I'm like, I was voting if you told me to or not. It is my number one right as an American is to vote. I don't need Jamie Lee Curtis telling me to vote. Of course I'm voting. What are you, nuts?
I totally agree. You are setting me up for my What Are You Nuts, which I'd like to do now. What I would say is half the country doesn't vote.
Well, that's nuts on them. That's nuts.
Is fucking nuts.
Yeah, you can't live here and take this free society for granted. People worked really fucking hard to allow us to vote. It's what makes us different. If you want, you can go live in Cuba. No, you live here. Vote.
But don't let Ben get political. Move to Cuba, you fucking commie. Oh, I just got a cramp in my leg. That was so funny. So my What Are You Nuts is, and please Marshall and Ben weigh in on this. My What Are You Nuts is, 5 minutes after, and this is 5 minutes after Biden decides that he's not going to run again. It was like anyone with over 1,000 followers on social media had to get their press teams together to release a statement. What are you, nuts? You're the 10th lead on CSI Long Island. Who cares? I don't care what your thoughts are. Don't share them. I don't care. What are you, nuts?
Nuts. And I felt the same way. I've never seen it before. It almost felt like the world of influencers and celebrities felt that Kamala Harris was so approachable that they could get to her by putting up a post. Like I saw like 100 people all post, Kamala, if you ever need anything, I'm here. She doesn't need anything from you. Josh Gad, bleep that. What are you, nuts? She doesn't need anything. Like what? I'm so with you. So dumb.
It kind of feels like a sign of the times too, where we're in an era where the public is expecting people to comment on everything.
Right.
But I don't think everything is worth everyone's opinion, and no one, like, we don't need everyone's hot take on every little issue.
The public is expecting that from people, but that public, I think, is so small. Like, we never talk about politics on this show, and nobody has ever DM'd me saying, Ben, I need your political opinions, because they don't want that from me. Like they never. And like, I feel the same way on social. Like I will rarely talk about the things that are very important to me. And when I do, I'm loud, but I do my absolute best to keep it light, keep it funny. Like that's what I do. And like the people who talk about politics, that's what they do. And church and state, I prefer it that way.
Look, if your opinion doesn't move markets, we don't need to hear it when it comes to politics. Like,
yes,
I don't agree with him a lot. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But like Elon Musk, richest man in the world, fine. He's going to chirp. Mark Cuban wants to give an opinion. Great. Dave Portnoy wants to give an opinion. Like, all right. Like these are people who have shown a record of like, they give their opinion when things matter. And, you know, they're on both ends of the spectrum. That's fine. But like, if your last video on social media was you doing the gritty, I don't give a shit. I just don't.
Yeah, it's totally nuts. It's totally nuts. Should I do my what are you nuts? Actually, no, I'll say, or I should do mine now? What should mine be? Oh, I was preparing for one.
Think about it. You can end with it. You want to go to a speak pipe?
Let's go to a speak pipe.
Okay. If you want to get advice from us, if you want to ask questions of us, keep it brief. Brevity is key. And go to speakpipe.com/goodguys and we will answer your questions on the air. The first one's from Lauren.
Hi guys, big fan. Okay, I need some help. This is a very real problem. I have TSA pre-check and my friend who I am traveling with does not. And I am wondering if I'm a bitch for meeting her on the other side. Okay, let me know. Thanks.
No, of course not. No, this isn't like a group dance. Like you go through, she goes through, you get on the plane, she misses her flight, It stinks. It's honestly what I did when I was incredibly stubborn for like 3 years with my wife. She had TSA. She had clear. She had global entry. I was this big buffoon that's like, I don't need that. What's that for? And like I would consistently be a half hour behind her, but she'd go. I'd meet her on the plane. Josh?
Couldn't agree more. That's the code. If you don't want to pay for it, if you don't want to go and have the government do a really deep background check into all your goings-ons, hey babe, take your shoes off, pull your laptop out, and go fuck yourself. Because
yes.
I'm flying through.
Yes, flying, running for the hills.
It's got to be the code.
I think so. I think that's a simple one. Easy. Clear cut.
Speaking of, because this whole episode is about my dear friend Len, like my boy Len will pull some silly shit. Like if we're flying together, he'll be like, oh bro, like I'll just try to, like you have pre-check. I'll just try to sneak in the pre-check line with you. I'm like, we're at the airport, dog.
Yeah.
Like we're not at the club.
No,
Like,
no, we're
there's
not.
no sneaking into my pre-check.
And you're certainly not letting him try to sneak in on your pre-check. Then you could lose your pre-check.
God forbid.
Not worth it at all. Not worth it at all.
This next one is from Anonymous.
Hi, Josh and Ben. I just wanted to call with a what are you nuts, honestly. And I don't think either of you will be very sympathetic, but it's fine. My what are you nuts is the fucking bar exam. Like, we went through 3 years of law school, and now you want us to learn and memorize 14 different bodies of law in a 12-hour, 2-day test when any lawyer not looking up the law would be committing malpractice. What are you, fucking nuts? Like, it just makes no sense. Like, maybe a 1-day test, maybe having cursory knowledge of all these things, but like, to be expected to know all of this shit so in depth is actually insane to me. And I'm sure you guys are familiar with lawyers. You've had lawyers. And I'm sure
Yeah, they
on your end, you
suck.
would think like, no, I want my lawyer to go through this scrutiny of the exam. Like, that's what you sign up for, which, you know, sure, I guess you kind of do. But when you're going through it and you realize how much unnecessary shit they make you know in your brain, it's just a big what are you nuts to me. So I guess I want your take on that. And that's all. Love the pod. That's all.
Would you like to
Ben?
give your take? Okay, I'll go. Okay, so first of all, I think you're nuts, lady, because everybody in the world, including us non-lawyers, knows that to be a lawyer, you got to take the bar. So don't go to law school if you're disinterested in the bar. The bar exam is highly rigorous, very difficult. Everybody knows it. So I think it's a little bit nuts to go through law school and then be like, I don't want to take the bar. The bar stinks. But you knew that before you went to law school. That's one. Two, I definitely want my lawyer to know as much about law as possible, right? So I like the bar exam. And three, I despise lawyers. I despise them. I have plenty of friends that are lawyers, and I'm like, what are you nuts for going into this profession where we're all just paying so much money in a what happens in a worst case scenario? They are human. It's human insurance. Like, it's just, I hate it. Like, if we could just all be half decent people and honor our word and not be scumbags, we wouldn't need lawyers. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't work in this world. We need protection from all of those said scumbags, but lawyers are nuts.
Marshall? Marshall was taking notes. Josh? Well, Josh, I think so here's my thought. You know, there is and I don't think the bar exam is quite like this, but when you're going to go to med school, the notorious class is organic chemistry, as considered sort of the weeding out class. And as a man who minored in chemistry, are you familiar with this?
Of course.
Did you take OChem?
I did.
Cute.
Guess what?
Look how I said that. OChem.
Guess what I got in OChem?
What?
A D.
That's a problem.
I had a really tough time with organic chemistry. I'm not gonna lie. It was so cool too. Like, oh, Ben, can you hang out tonight? Nah, I got an organic chemistry lab. Like, I felt so cool. It was really hard. I don't remember anything.
That's so funny. Well, it's like, that's the old joke of, what do you call a doctor who got D's in med school?
A dentist?
A doctor.
Oh, a doctor. Oh, okay. Yeah. Sure.
That's the problem. It's like, right. So it's an incredibly challenging class, and they say it's like, it foreshadows kind of what your experience is going to be in med school, because it will require that level of diligence and preparation and studying. And so if you have a really hard time or you can't pass OChem, there's a really good chance maybe you shouldn't go forward with medical school. Not in all cases. Obviously, I'm sure there are plenty of TikToks of someone who starts it with, I failed OChem 3 times, and look at me now, I'm a doctor. To which I'd say, yikes for your patience. Anyway, but
Yikes.
I think the bar exam is probably something like that too. It's like less about specific knowledge of the law and more about the totality of, like, do you have a brain for law? Do you have what's required to practice good law?
Is there the bar equivalent for, there isn't the bar equivalent for medical school. There is?
Sure there is. The boards. Board certified. Medical
Okay.
boards.
Yeah. Good. That makes sense. Good. Very good.
So wait, I pulled up a sample question from the bar exam, and if the questions are like this, we would be acing that shit. Should we do it?
Yeah. Please.
Okay. Criminal law, grasping the concept of intent. Question: can Anne be convicted of burglary if her defense is that she entered the building solely to seek refuge from a sudden storm? Here are your options. 1, yes, Anne can be convicted of burglary even if she entered the building to seek refuge. 2, no, Anne cannot be convicted of burglary if she entered the building solely to seek refuge. 3, maybe, depends on whether Anne had a history of committing crimes. 4, it depends on the severity of the storm that Anne encountered. 1, 2, 3, or 4, boys.
Wow.
3.
The maybe.
Yeah, like just because there was a storm doesn't mean that she was a burglar, and just because she was a burglar doesn't mean that there was a storm. She needs to have been a burglar, and there happened to have been a storm. She comes inside because of the storm. All of a sudden, she's trying to seek refuge, but she breaks in, and then she burglarizes. But breaking and entering and being a burglar are two different things.
Yeah,
Also,
wait,
why am I
that's what I
saying
was
it like a
gonna say.
burger? Burglarer.
Burglar.
That's me and Ben. We're burglars.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Why is I thought that's breaking and entering. I thought burglarizing.
No,
was like-
burglarizing is when you sneak into a McDonald's and steal 6 burgers.
Yeah.
Like the Hamburglar.
So it's 3, right?
Wow, we're all really stupid. No, but remember here, she entered the building solely to seek refuge from a sudden storm without intent to burglarize, and this is concept of intent.
But did she?
Solely to seek refuge.
Whoa. Okay, so no, it's B.
It's B.
Yes.
No,
Okay.
and Anne cannot be convicted of burglary if she entered the building solely to seek refuge from a sudden storm.
Yeah, but that's like a classic like SAT dumb question. Like if they just wrote it like there was a storm. It was hella windy. Okay, and rain was
It was
dumping.
dumb windy, dog.
And rain was dumping down. So Anne decided to pop into this building because she was getting rained on. When did Anne become a criminal? They made it overly complicated, like to trick you. I hate this shit.
It was raining, no cap, and the locks on the door were mid. Okay. One more.
That-
One more?
Yes,
Come on,
no,
one
yeah,
more.
no.
One
By the way,
more.
5
One
more.
more.
I love this game.
We need. This is almost as good as were they anti-Semitic?
Yeah, almost.
Okay. Contract law. Which of the following statements is true regarding the scenario where Jane proposed to sell her car to John for $5,000, but sold the car to someone else the very next day without receiving any acceptance or consideration from John? 1, yes, John can sue Jane for breach of contract because she made an offer to him. 2, no, John cannot sue Jane for breach of contract because no contract was formed between them. 3, maybe John can sue Jane for breach of contract because he needed time to think it over. 4, it depends on the type of contract Jane proposed.
It's either B or D, because I don't know if an oral commitment is considered contractual as it relates to the sale of a vehicle.
court of
I do
law.
know that it is in some cases. So I'm going to go with D.
I was thinking D too.
Bunch of scholars here. The answer is B.
Ah. Shit.
John cannot sue Jane for breach of contract because no contract was formed between them.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. Good on you,
Good to know.
Jane. Scumbag Jane. Promised the car to John. He sold his car. He was ready, going to pick it up. He's like, "Ooh, I got a great price on a new Corolla." He gets there after taking 3 buses and 4 trains. "Hey, Jane, can I have my Corolla?" "No, John. I sold it for double what I sold it to you for yesterday." Scumbag
Oof.
Jane.
Frickin' Jane. You have a what are you nuts, Ben?
Frickin' Jane. Yes. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Oh, wait. Fuck. I lost it. No, just bear with me for a second.
Take your time.
Oh, I got it. And in next week's episode, I'm going to go into my entire experience at the Luke Combs concert, but this is just a snippet from the Luke Combs concert. We went to the Luke Combs concert last week. Or over the weekend. It was fantastic, but there was a what are you nuts moment. There were multiple what are you nuts moments. We're in a bit of a green room, Josh, right? Like like when we went to the Knick game, you get nice special treatment because celebrities like ourselves,
Sure.
we get that sort of thing. And we're in a nice room, and there's one bathroom. Now, when there's one bathroom for men and women, typically the way that it works, right, is it's a single stall, or sometimes they go crazy and there's like 4 or 5 stalls in there, and anybody can sort of do their business, right?
Right.
This particular, we're tracking. This particular bathroom, I walked in. My wife walked in. Her sister walked in. We all walk into the bathroom. On the right is urinals, Josh. And on the left is stalls. And I thought that was nuts. A complete what are you nuts? In what world am I going to pop up to the urinal, whip out my schmeck when my wife, her sister, or any other woman is in that bathroom at the same time? I thought it was totally nuts. I, of course, went to the stall, did my business there, and I just thought that the co-ed of the urinal and the non-urinal was nuts.
At first I was not on board with you, but then I really, as the great actor I am, I really sense memoried it, and I created the scenario in my head, and I felt my sister-in-law's behind me, and and you know what? You're right.
Nuts.
I wouldn't feel comfortable either.
No, it's nuts. It's literally nuts.
Marshall?
Nuts.
Nuts.
As always, rate us 5 stars. If not, what are you nuts? Listen to us on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast. Watch us on Josh's YouTube. We're so animated. It's so fantastic. Share our clips, TikTok and Instagram. And Mondays and Thursdays, folks, don't forget to check out both. We'll see you next time.